Hello guys, welcome to Data Warriors channel. In this session, we are going to discuss about having clause in SQL. So, what is the purpose of having clause, and then where we can use having clause, that we will discuss along with the practical example. And also along with this, one most important interview questions which interviewers ask generally for SQL interviews. That is what is the difference between where and having clause, that also we are going to see at the end of this tutorial. So what is the having clause, guys? So having clause in SQL is used to filter the grouped results after aggregation. So means basically whenever we are filtering data, we are using a where clause to filter the records. But whenever we are grouping the records and after that the result which we are getting, if we have to filter out that, we have to use having clause. Okay, so we'll try to understand that with help of some practical examples. So this is the SQL editor, W3 SQL editor. First, we will read all data from customers table. How we can do that? Using this SQL query, select asterisk from customers. Read all data from customers. Let me execute. Okay. So now we are getting all records from the customers table. So if you will observe, this country column is there. Country column contains country of the customers, and then customer ID, customer name, contact name, address, city. So if we have to, as we discussed in our earlier sessions for the group by, if we have to list the count of customers against each country or from each country. Okay. So what I'm telling you. Okay, so guys, what we have to do? We have to find out the total number of customers from each country. So from each country means what we have to do? We have to group by the on basis of country column. Means whatever customers are there from Germany, we will treat those as a one group, and within that we'll find the count using aggregate functions. So how we will do that? First we have to route select. Now I'm just writing asterisk from table name will be customers, and then you have to use a group by clause. We will use group by on basis of which column? Country. Against each country we have to see the count of customers, so country column will be come in the group by. So whatever is coming in the group by default we can put that in the select, because country names we want, and against each country you will be giving the count. And after that, what you want the count of customers again each country, means the number of times country will be repeated, that means that much of customers you have. Count star as total customers, total customers from customers group by country. Okay, now let me run this. Okay, now we have got out of 91 records, we have there are total this many countries, 21 countries unique. And then against each country, how many customers are there, that we are getting: Argentina 3, Austria 2, Belgium 2, Brazil 9, Canada 3. Okay, and so on. So now this many 21 rows came. So if you will observe, some countries having 2, 3, 1, like that also customer count. So against after that, this next step is that if we have the requirement, like you don't want to show all the country customers, you want to read the count of customers from each country whose customer count is greater than 3. So how we can do that? So we can achieve that with the having clause. So having clause, I told, like we can use after the group by clause, and that is used to filter the grouped records. So this is the grouped records, and if we have to filter out it where customers, total customers are greater than 3, then how we will do? Having count asterisk means count of customers greater than 3. Simple. Yes. Now, if you observe, total IT records came out of 21, and all countries having customers count greater than 3, right? 4, 9, 5. Okay. So, so this way having clause works. It we can use it by after the group by clause, and then it can be used with the aggregate functions. And in place of this asterisk, guys, if you want to put a country also, that will also work same way. What is the difference between that asterisk and country? So it will count the rows on basis of country values, and then asterisk if you are putting, it will count the all rows. So same concept is there. Yes, same result. Now we will see our next part. So this is the one basic important questions, you interview questions, which every interviewer will ask, guys, whenever we are appearing for SQL interview. What is the difference between where and having clause? Okay, so these are the some differences we are going to see. So where clause is basically used to filter the records before grouping. So without doing any group by, we can use a where clause to filter the records. And then what is the where we can use having clause? Having clause will be used after groups or by after grouping, right? We can use after grouping. And then where clause will be used for the condition on individual records. Yes, to apply the condition on individual records, we can use the where clause. And then here having clause is specifically designed to filter the data after aggregate functions. Okay. And then third thing is that where clause cannot be used with the aggregate function like sum, average, count. Okay. And then having clause will always comes after group by in a query, and where clause will always come before group by in a query. So we'll try to understand this where clause and having clause differences based on the practical examples. Difference between where versus having clause. Okay. So first I am reading all data from the customers table. Correct. So all 91 records. If out of this 91, if I want to filter the customers records, whose country is UK. So this is a country column, guys. How we can do that? Simply in this whole query, read all data from customers. We can use where class, right? Where country we are writing equal to UK. Okay. So in place of where class, if you are confused, okay, can we use having class? Yes, I am replacing that, and then so what I told, having clause will be used after the group by clause. If you are using without group by in place of where, what will happen? Having country is equal to UK. It will throw error, guys, because this customers dot country means this country column from the customers table is invalid in the having clause because it is not contained in either an aggregate function or group by clause. So it is saying it does not have that group by or aggregate function, so it is not valid. So let me replace by where, then it will work, guys, right? Yes, it is working. So this means where clause will be used before group by. Okay, and then having clause will not be used before group by, it will be used after group by. And then in place of grouping also, if you want to see, like, can we use a where clause? So select country, I'm writing, then count of asterisk. Okay, from as customer count we have to give, from which table customers. Okay, then we have to use a group by clause, group by country we have to do. So okay, So what I did, guys, so I'm grouping uh, the customer records based on the country column, and then I'm checking how many customers are there in each country. And after that, as discussed earlier, having we were using having count of asterisk greater than 3, right? Uh, so in place of this having clause, means what we are doing, having clause we are using to filter the group records whose customer count is greater than 3. So if I'm trying to use a where clause, does this will work, guys? Where count of uh, total customers will be greater than 3? No, guys, because where clause we cannot use with the aggregate functions. So specially having clause will be is designed specially to use with the aggregate functions. I'm replacing with having. It is working now. Hope the difference is clear, guys. So basically we saw the having clause in SQL is used to filter the group records, group results after aggregation, and the this interview question: what is the difference between where and having clause? These are the differences, and these are the some practical examples we saw as part of this session. Thank you, guys. We'll see you in the next session.